Hey, this is Matt. Welcome back to the channel, guys, where I'm going to be talking about how to get the best possible density, how to get the best result after your hair transplant if you are a guy with fine hair. Now, what makes me qualified to speak about that is simply I'm a guy with fine hair and I have done 3 hair transplants myself. Well, not only that, I've been also talking to hundreds of guys over the last 3 years, one-on-one, helping them, assisting them throughout their hair transplant research, out of which many were also guys with fine hair. So based on that, I learned also many things that could be done better as far as planning your hair transplant and all that. And if you are not sure what to do, how to get the best result, if you are a guy with fine hair, this video will shed some light on what's actually possible. Now, before we start, this video has been brought to you by GoFiber, which are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning, any patchy areas on your scalp to make the hair look better, visually thicker and fuller. So make sure you check out the link in the description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice and see if you like them. Welcome back to the channel once again, guys. If you are new, make sure you check out my free Facebook group, Hair Transplant Experiences, with over 2,300 members in the group. Check out my website, mattdominance.com, if you are interested in getting your hair transplant done the proper way and you want to inform yourself. There are different types of guides which can help you with your hair transplant decision as far as hair transplant clinics in Turkey, clinics worldwide, how to do your research in 3 simple steps. Now, if we are talking about fine hair, now how would you now imagine fine hair? Do you even have fine hair? How would you know? What fine hair is, it's being defined as hair shaft which is about 0.03 to 0.04 millimeters thick or thin. If we go from 0.04 to 0.06, that would be like medium hair shaft thickness, and if we go to 0.06 and higher, that would be a thick hair shaft. So that obviously differs based on the ethnicity, but a very similar classification we can find also with TrichoLab. TrichoLab, it's a software which analyzes or helps doctors and trichologists analyze the hair, and they do it with a dermoscope, with a trichoscope, with a device, and their scale is also 0.03 millimeter and less is thin, 0.03 to 0.05 is medium, and 0.05 and higher is high hair thickness. Now, if you would ask me like, Matt, share with us some real life examples of guys with this type of hair, maybe 0.03 to 0.04, 0.5 millimeter hair shaft thickness, it would be somebody like Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling, Tom Hardy, David Beckham, and also myself. Even if somebody has thin hair, it doesn't mean that he has low hair density automatically, okay? So again, Tom Hardy and David Beckham would be like on the lower end with having thin hair, but also low density, and Brad Pitt would be on the higher end. He would have like very high density per square centimeter, but thin hair also, and Ryan Gosling would be somewhere in the middle. Ending up with Brad Pitt's hairline and the density that he has would be the ultimate expectation that we as guys with fine hair could have out of a hair transplant. Now, whether this is going to be possible in 1 session or in 2 sessions or even 3 sessions, this is definitely a good discussions, because I don't think that ending up with such density and such a low see-through effect, despite having such fine hair like Brad Pitt has, I don't think that it is possible to do in 1 session. Although there are many clinics, like some cheap clinics in Turkey, who claim that they can do 70 or I seen even 80 grafts per square centimeter on the hairline while charging like $2,000 per like max amount of grafts. I mean, they're just fun to me. Okay, I'm just laughing. I hope all of you guys who are watching my videos are not taking this seriously anymore, but I believe that there are guys out there who do take this seriously because they're not that educated as you guys watching my channel, and I feel sorry for them if they get trapped and, you know, go with such clinics. But anyways, the discussion is that if your expectations as a guy with fine hair are not as high, like having like Brad Pitt type of hairline, it's more likely that you will be happy, that you will be content with your transplanted hairline after 1 session already, even if you have fine hair. Usually the doctors, they do like 40 to 50 grafts like density on the hairline with the first hair transplant, and honestly I don't know many doctors who would do more. Like even HLC in Turkey does 50 grafts, and I don't know any clinics in Turkey that would be doing like routinely more than 50 grafts per square centimeter. And this is like also the the type of density that is also safe for, maximizing the graft survival rate, avoiding things like necrosis happening on the on the recipient area if there is too many grafts placed on the square centimeter, and that causing the restricted blood supply to the follicles and so on, and that's why the necrosis can occur. That can definitely negatively influence the graft survival rate as well. So 40 to 50 grafts is a good, number or density to shoot for with your first hair transplant, no matter how thick or thin your hair really is, just for the safety purposes as well. Obviously, guys with thick hair are in a big advantage here, because it's very, very likely that these guys will be already happy with that density of 50. And they will not need any touch-up in the future, because their thick hair shafts are already covering so much surface with that 50 grafts per square centimeter density that they will not even desire any higher density. But I have to tell you from experience, from guys that I've consulted, guys with blonde hair, with fine hair, they got the density of 45 to 50 and they still were like, Matt, I wish it could have been like 10 or 15 grafts higher, maybe like 60 to 65 grafts, and then I will be really happy. And it's really true, because some of us have really fine hair, and even the 50 grafts per square centimeter may not be as satisfying, especially if you are somebody who is like Norwood 2, Norwood 3, and you need only like 2,500 to 3,000 grafts, and it's very likely maybe that you will not recede, or maybe you respond to medication very well and you are confident that you will not recede further in the future. So you really want that strong and dense looking hairline as a guy with fine hair. And for such guy, I know from experience, again, because I consulted many of you, that even 50 grafts will not be like enough for you, really. But it's a good start. And I think many of us with fine hair, we should, and that's one thing that I wish I had understood before, that getting a hair transplant in this two-step approach towards, ending up with that really maximum possible density on the hairline is the ideal scenario. So this is the one disadvantage that we guys have who have thin hair, that guys with coarse hair don't have, and we need to rely more on that like two-step approach, because our hair shafts are just thinner and we need more of them per square centimeter to be implanted to cover the same surface as a guy with thick hair maybe will be able to cover with maybe 30-40% less grafts transplanted per square centimeter. And this is one illustration which I did. Imagine these two boxes as 1 square centimeter areas on your scalp, and on the left you can see a guy with thinner hair, and I was able to fit circles, which should represent grafts. I was able to fit 45 of them, while on the right I was only able to fit 30 of them. Okay, so that's like this illustration, which I wanted you to understand that with a particular amount of grafts, the guy with thin hair, he will be able to cover much smaller area compared to a guy with thicker hair shaft. This guy will be able to, utilize the same amount of grafts much better and spread them along a larger balding area, or have the doctor trying to, dense pack them even better than the guy with thin hair. And that's why the guys who are, having thin hair are much more likely to utilize this two-step approach, where during the first session they go for maybe, let's say, 45 grafts per square centimeter, as you can see in this example here, and then close to 10% of these grafts may not survive. So let's say 4 grafts will die out and will not survive, and thus the guy will end up physically with 41 grafts per square centimeter on the hairline. And then during the second hair transplant, he will shoot for, let's say, 55 to 60 grafts per square centimeter, and it may look like the picture on the right, where I was able to fit another 19 smaller circles, which could be very, very soft, fine looking single grafts that would be able to, be fitted in between the previously implanted 41 grafts on the square centimeter on the hairline. And bear in mind that at the end of the day, it's not the number of grafts per square centimeter that it's important, but what's important is to make the gaps between the transplanted grafts as small as possible. Obviously, it is easier to make it look like that if doctors just implant a bunch of doubles and triples in the hairline, which are naturally thicker, but then they increase the unnaturalness on the hairline, and that's why many cheap clinics do it like that. They make it appear as, okay, there is low see-through effect, there is high density, high perceived density, but if you come very, very close to the hairline and inspect that hairline in detail, you will notice that there is a lot of unnaturalness because the grafts are not very fine. And you also have to be looking at your donor area, whether it is thick, whether it's dense enough, whether you should be even shooting for, 60 or 65 grafts per square centimeter. If you are maybe not responding well to medication, maybe you have side effects, you cannot be even relying on finasteride, you don't want to take finasteride, you don't want to take minoxidil, then you shouldn't be that hazardous. You shouldn't be trying to get like such a high density if you know that, hell, I can maybe end up like Norwood 6 in the near future and I will not have enough hair to cover the rest. I don't want to end up with this strip of dense looking, singles, like density 65 grafts per square centimeter. So that's bad, right? You should be also rational. You should consider also that donor area, and if you are somebody who could potentially get away with that, then this will be the ideal approach for you. Now obviously, if your goal is to have like David Beckham's hairline, obviously David Beckham's is also receding. He has signs of androgenetic alopecia. He's probably on medication, and many guys have been considering whether he got or didn't get hair transplant. I said that likely he didn't, but I was still unsure. But his hairline looks quite, I would say, not like a hair transplant, not like a transplanted hairline. It looks like a thinning hairline, due to androgenetic alopecia, and it's much thinner. I mean, the density is lower than what Brad Pitt has. So if your expectation is, if you have fine hair and you want to achieve something like David Beckham has on a hairline, chances are that even with one hair transplant, it will be possible. Again, if you search for a doctor who is really experienced in dense packing single grafts, who has also many female clients, because females, they really require these singles to be placed in a very high density on the hairline and temples. So you have to be looking for doctors who are able not only to transplant grafts successfully on patients with fine hair like males, but also females. And if you see that, wow, the see-through effect is low, the density is good, then you can go to that doctor. But please avoid looking at patients who have like much thicker hair diameter and maybe like wavy hair, curly hair. I mean, this will look much, much better even if the density is not that high. And then you end up going to such doctor and you will be surprised why your density is not that high, because in fact this doctor is maybe doing a good job on a good candidate, but on not such an ideal candidate, the doctor may not do such a good job, okay? So make sure you consider that always. If you're a guy with fine hair, if you want to get the best possible density. Guys, that was all I wanted to share really in this video. I don't know if it was a good video or not. I hope I helped some of you guys with thin hair. Anyways, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out my Facebook group, Hair Transplant Experiences, with over 2,300 members in the group. Make sure you check out mattdominance.com if you want to, inform yourself about how to get your hair transplant done properly. You can check out some of my guides on topics like best hair transplant clinics in Turkey, best hair transplant doctors worldwide, how to research hair transplants in 3 simple steps. All these ebooks you can find on my website, as well as the possibility to apply to a one-on-one call with me, where I can help you out in person, assist you throughout your hair transplant research and help you make the best possible decision by, analyzing, helping you understand different quotes from different clinics you have received, and help you make sense out of all that and help you make the best decision, before you get a transplant. Okay, so that was it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna be seeing you in another video very, very soon.